All right, so this is minimum width. We are going to be talking about what that is. Now in CSS 101, we learned about maximum width, we learned about regular width. If you don't know about max width, honestly, it's the exact same as minimum width. However, it's the opposite. So it's same, but different. Now, maximum width says an element can only have a maximum width, and it will try to go from the smallest size to that maximum width before breaking your text onto a new line. Minimum width is sort of the same, but opposite. So I can select this box here, and I can give this a border, 4 pixels, solid blue. And let's go in here and throw some lorem ipsum in here. Lorem, and then in VS Code, I just hit tab. And that's because I have Django template selected here. This should be an HTML. Let's undo that. Lorem, tab, there we go. And when I load up this page, we can see all this text. Now this is actually sort of a bad example. I'm gonna just delete everything except this one line so that we have this width in here. Let's go ahead and delete all of that. Save and refresh. Okay, so now this is not actually going to do anything because this is a block element. And remember that first lesson I said block element display is really, really important. So let's go ahead and trim this. We want to make this not take up the entire width. So we can say display inline block, and this will allow us to use the width element with it. However, it's also going to take up a minimum width here, which is really nice. So this element here is 365 pixels wide. So we want a minimum width of something just a little bit bigger. Let's give this a min width, and let's say that minimum width has to be 450 pixels. And so what this is going to do is sort of move this out to somewhere over here. Oh, pretty good game. That was a pretty good guess. So it's going to move it over here, and if I write more text, it's going to then expand, and we can actually see this by going in here, and I'm just going to copy this line a couple of times, and you can see that it expanded all the way over. So it has that minimum width, and all I'm doing here is undoing and redoing, but it has that minimum width, so it doesn't matter if there's extra space or not, it's going to take up that minimum width. And then once it has more content, possibly too much content, what it's going to do is then move this to be 100% width. Now we can marry this with max width as well. So we can say the max width can only be somewhere out here. So let's go ahead and combine these. We can say a max width of, let's say, 500 pixels. Refresh, it looks like nothing changed, but what this is going to do is say somewhere about here probably is the maximum width. So before this blue border was taking up this entire width, this one no longer will. So I'm going to double click in here and paste that a few times. And we can see that it only takes up to here now. And our box element, if we go down here, 450 pixels wide is what it is by default. Up here, it's 508 pixels, and that's because it's taking up 4 pixels on either side. So 500 pixels on the inside, 400 pixels, 4 pixels on either side rather. And we can change that. Box sizing. And let's do border box, and you can actually see it's making that little 8 pixel difference. Border box, and if we go back over here, we can see the whole element is 500 pixels. So now we're already using the display stuff that we learned from our display lesson. We're also learning and using box sizing from the box sizing or the box model lesson. So this is min width. The idea again here is just that it's going to be a minimum width, and if you have more content, it can grow to be larger.